If you are looking to increase your productivity, one of the very, very best things you can do is implement the Pomodoro time management technique. This method has done wonders for me over the years. I have used it for so long that I even kind of forget that that's what I'm doing, but it helps you get so much more done, stay focused, break big tasks up into small, bite-sized, manageable pieces, and so much more. So in this video, I'm going to walk through not only what it is, but how to use it and all the benefits that you can reap from implementing the Pomodoro method yourself. If we haven't met before, I'm Amber with Solutions for Simplicity. I'm an academic researcher and professor by day, a YouTuber and productivity coach by night, and mom to 4 young boys throughout. This channel is all about equipping you with actionable strategies to do more and stress less so that you can get done what you need to do faster and really free up the most amount of time and energy for who and what you love. I make weekly videos on planning, productivity, and purposeful living, so definitely subscribe and let's jump straight in. First off, the Pomodoro method was created in the 1980s by a gentleman named Francesco Cirillo, and he was looking for a way to help him focus, get his work done. He was a university student and he was feeling overwhelmed, as so many of us often are, by those big, daunting projects that don't necessarily have specific time windows around them, right? You know you need to be working on them and it's really, really hard to get motivated. You're stressed and it's really easy to procrastinate, to put it off, right? And so he developed this method that I will walk you through, and it just is amazing. It has now taken off and become one of the most popular time management techniques out there. I would be surprised if you haven't heard of it before, but in that case, you definitely need to try this. I remember using it way back in grad school, 10 plus years ago, as I was working to write my dissertation, and a couple of friends and I would sit in the computer lab on campus and really make sure that we were timing ourselves and really keeping each other accountable so that we would stay focused on our one task for the specific time period that the Pomodoro technique allocates, and then we would build up these chunks of time to see how much we could get done and not only compete with ourselves, right, but really then kind of compete in a friendly way with each other. It was all so wonderful, and one of the main reasons why I did stick with getting this big challenging dissertation project done. Whatever your task, it doesn't have to be something big and challenging. It can be something as simple as making phone calls and setting up appointments or replying to emails. There are so many ways that you can implement this technique. Let me walk you through how it works, and then we'll talk about applications, ways to take it up a notch, and of course, all the reasons why using this method is going to skyrocket your productivity. It is so simple to use. What you want to do is pick a task ahead of time. You want to have one clear objective. That doesn't mean that you are necessarily going to complete that task in the allotted time, but you need to go into your 25-minute period with a specific task in mind. One thing that you are going to work on exclusively for 25 minutes. You are going to set a timer, and then for that 25-minute period, work only on that one thing. Ignore distractions, ignore the urge to pick up your phone or check a different internet browser, web tab, whatever. Don't get up and go use the restroom for 25 minutes, and only 25 minutes. You are sitting, you are working, you are doing what you are supposed to do. Then at the end of that 25-minute period, you take a 5-minute break, go walk around, take some deep breaths, do whatever you need to do. That's the time to maybe quickly check email, social media, whatever you can't, get away from, whatever you're addicted to. I'm just as guilty, so don't get me wrong. But then you come back, you set the timer again, do another 25-minute period followed by a 5-minute break. One 25-minute work period plus a 5-minute break is one Pomodoro. And the total technique is then to complete 4 Pomodoros, so 4 different sets of the 25-minute period and 5-minute break, before you then take a longer break somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes. In those longer windows, this is the ideal time to go get a snack, have lunch, have a meeting or an appointment, whatever it is that you want to do, but then you come back and you ideally keep completing sets of Pomodoros to get through your entire workday. It's ultimately not about the number of Pomodoros that you complete in a day. The whole point is that you have one, pre-identified the specific tasks that you are going to tackle in each window. And then secondly, that you are forcing yourself to sit down, do the work, and do only that one thing for the time that you have allotted. If you were to keep using the Pomodoro method throughout the day, you could try and squeeze anywhere between 12 to 14, maybe even 16 Pomodoros into an 8 or 9 hour workday. But again, the crucial thing is that you are also taking breaks. One of the best reasons why the Pomodoro technique works is that it naturally works with your ultradian rhythm. If you have not heard of this before, you can check out this video where I delve a little bit into what that is. I also will link in the description my Harness Your Energy Masterclass, where I walk through your ultradian rhythm and 3 other natural energy cycles that are constantly affecting your ability to get things done. But the point is that everyone has this sort of innate biological ability to sit and focus for only a certain amount of time. It varies person to person. Most studies show that a person can focus no more than 90 minutes max, and typically closer to the 20 to 30, maybe 45-minute mark, right? Before your brain naturally starts to wander, you get that little itch to get up and do something else, or you just start to feel fuzzy, right? And if you are forcing yourself to push through and keep working, whether you realize it or not, you are then reaping diminishing returns on your productivity because your brain is becoming increasingly fatigued. It is harder and harder to focus. And so again, the Pomodoro method ensures from the get-go that that does not happen. You are working for 25 minutes and then you allow your ultradian rhythm to reset. You can ultimately choose any amount of time that you want for your Pomodoro. It doesn't have to be 25 minutes. For instance, if you know that your ability to focus and get things done is shorter, maybe only 15 minutes, great. Work for 15 minutes and then take your 5-minute break. If it's longer, work for half an hour or more and then take your little bit of a break. The point is to, again, plan in advance how you're going to use each chunk of time and then really divide up your overarching tasks and things that need to get done into finite things that you can accomplish or at least stay focused on for those individual Pomodoro time periods. All right, so why is this so great? Well, first off, it should be obvious, right? You are combating distractions by sitting down and forcing yourself to focus on one thing for a set time period. I do want to mention that, you don't have to be only doing one particular task during the Pomodoro period. What is more important is that you are doing similar kinds of tasks. You are avoiding the switching costs associated with doing one kind of thing versus another kind of thing. So if you have a lot of kind of small or simple tasks that are similar, right? Like responding to emails or making those phone calls, maybe doing some housework, whatever is relevant to you, your job, or your life situation, you can group similar kinds of tasks that all fall under one overarching category into one Pomodoro period. But the point is, again, that you are doing just that one kind of thing for that finite amount of time, and you are really then giving yourself the chance to get a lot done because you are not multitasking. You are not dividing your attention. You are not going back and forth. The next major benefit of the Pomodoro method, and one that I can definitely attest to, is that this is such a great way to just get yourself started, right? When you have big daunting tasks or just anything that you don't necessarily want to do, maybe it is something you want to do, but you're just not feeling super great and productive at the start of your day, right? Whatever the situation, the beauty of the Pomodoro method is that you know you can do anything for a short amount of time. So sitting down and allowing yourself just a small bit of time is such a great way to avoid procrastination, because you know, your brain knows that you can do this, and then when that timer goes off, okay, you can walk away, you are done. Maybe you don't do any more than that. Maybe you don't work on that task anymore. Maybe you don't even work at all the rest of the day. Wouldn't that be nice, right? Maybe your situation requires you to work, as mine certainly does. The point is that you are starting super, super small, which makes it easy to cross that proverbial finish line and give your brain the dopamine hit, that reward, that pleasure reward that you receive every time you do something to completion and you do it well. It is really, really hard to feel like you are winning and you're getting much done when you have huge things that are just hanging over your head, right? And so many of us, again, I am the most guilty, but many of us avoid even getting started because it just feels so hard and we know it's going to take a long time, right? And we're just, for whatever reason, not in the mood at that moment. But using the Pomodoro method is a great self-discipline technique without the self-imposed discipline, because it's the timer, right? That small, short amount of time that is helping you overcome the problem. Then I mentioned this before, but the Pomodoro technique is awesome for helping you break up any big tasks down into the smaller individual steps that need to be completed. So one really neat way of thinking about your projects, if you use the Pomodoro technique, is to kind of think of things in terms of how many Pomodoros they will take to get completed. Now, if it's a project like writing a book or a dissertation, right, the number of Pomodoros is kind of endless, but you can then break those big projects down into different sections, different steps along the way. For instance, okay, in this Pomodoro, I need to read this article, or I need to find a certain number of articles that I'm going to then read later. If your big project is something like writing a report, right, you could break up that big report into the individual sections or the data collection that you need to do to then summarize everything in your report. All of this is adaptable and will be whatever fits your unique situation, but the method is the same and the benefits are the same, because you inherently get better and better about anticipating how long something is going to take. And that is no easy thing, because we humans are all so guilty of what's called the planning fallacy. I have spoken about this in other videos, but this is our natural tendency to vastly underestimate how long something is going to take to get completed, right? We inevitably think that we can do so much more than we actually can. So when you use the Pomodoro technique, you start to have a much better sense of what you actually can get done in a 25-minute period or a 2-hour set of 4 Pomodoros. And so as you do this over and over and over again, you will be much better about planning in your tasks and giving yourself the right amount of time to get things done, because you will have so much prior experience to draw from, telling you these kinds of tasks take longer, you need to break them down even further, and so on. Next, the Pomodoro technique definitely increases your efficiency and enables you to get that much more done, skyrocket your productivity, because you are exclusively focused on one thing at a time. I know you know that trying to divide your attention is a recipe for disaster, and it definitely, causes your productivity to plummet. You finish the day without anything to show for it because you tried to do a little bit on this, a little bit on this, you got distracted, you had an interruption. The amazing thing about the Pomodoro technique is that for 25 minutes, You are turning off notifications. You are not available to the outside world. You are focused on getting things done. And it's amazing what you can crank out in that 25-minute period. Let's talk about a few ways to take this up a notch. Once you start using the Pomodoro method, I know you will become as hooked as I am for all kinds of reasons, and then you'll never think of your time the same way, right? You won't really know how to get your things done and structure your day without the Pomodoro method. It just becomes so natural. But if and when you are ready to take things up even further, you can do things like get a special cube timer that you just set down and it automatically starts counting that 25-minute period for you. This is really great because then you don't have to spend the time setting the timer on your phone, although there are also a variety of free timers online that are preset for 25 minutes. The downside with those is that then they are online, right? So your internet browser is open and you might still feel that temptation to start browsing. You've got to be, really disciplined and focused, hold yourself accountable. The next great way that you can take this up a notch is to purposely plan in empty Pomodoros throughout your day, 1 or 2 here or there throughout an 8-9 hour window, so that you are giving yourself catch-up time if you didn't finish what you were hoping to do in the allotted time earlier. You also have this cushion. I'm always talking about how important it is to build in white space and cushions into your plans for whatever comes up, right? And so give yourself maybe a free Pomodoro period to do whatever else needs doing, whatever has come up or whatever didn't get finished in a prior period. And then last but not least, there are a variety of really helpful apps out there that can really help you implement this method and use it to its full potential. My personal favorite is the app Todoist. I will put a link for you down in the description. They have an incredible free plan to get you started, as well as a variety of additional tiers for just a couple of bucks a month. I cannot speak highly enough about these resources and the way that the Todoist app enables you to keep everything organized and seamlessly structure your day around the Pomodoro method. If you have made it this far in the video, first off, thank you. I hope you have found this super helpful. Give it a big thumbs up, but also type into the comments, tomatoes are the best. Type that in down below. And now the next thing you're going to want to do once you know what the Pomodoro method is actually start time blocking these 25-minute periods into your planner. So jump straight into this video where I walk through what time blocking is, how to do it successfully, and give you a free template to start planning your day out around these Pomodoro windows. It is a game changer. I can't wait for you to check it out. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I will see you back soon with another video. Have a great day.